Far above the Arctic Circle, winter has tightened its grip upon the frozen world. Hidden beneath the snow, a mother polar bear waits through the darkest season of the year. Deep within the den, new life enters the Arctic wilderness. Helpless and blind, the cub depends entirely on its mother's care. Protected from the harsh Arctic winter, the cub slowly grows stronger each day. As winter begins to fade, sunlight slowly returns to the Arctic. For the young cub, a frozen world waits beyond the safety of the den. For the first time, the cub sees the vast kingdom of ice and snow. What looks like play is actually preparation for survival. The cub's first great journey across the Arctic has begun. Every hunt begins with patience and an extraordinary sense of smell. Sometimes a polar bear must wait for hours before an opportunity appears. Then, in a single explosive moment, patience becomes action. Every successful hunt provides food and teaches valuable lessons. For now, the Arctic still provides everything they need. Hidden within the glaciers are wonders shaped by thousands of years of ice. Curiosity is one of the cub's greatest tools for learning. The frozen wilderness is shared by many remarkable survivors. Every scent carried by the wind reveals clues about life across the Arctic. In the Arctic, survival often depends on recognizing danger before it arrives. Within hours, the peaceful landscape transforms into a frozen storm. In the harshest of storms, the mother stands resolute. She shields her cub, her massive body a fortress against the Arctic winds. Through patience and endurance, another challenge is overcome. When the storm finally passes, the Arctic reveals its beauty once more. Yet beneath the surface, signs of change are beginning to appear. Some creatures of the Arctic are best admired from a distance. Every encounter teaches the cub more about the frozen world it calls home. Across the Arctic, the ice is beginning to retreat. Each year, polar bears must travel farther to find stable hunting grounds. A long journey now lies ahead, one that will test both mother and cub. The frozen highway that once connected the Arctic is slowly vanishing. To survive, they must now swim across distances their ancestors rarely faced. Every stroke consumes precious energy. Even in the harshest conditions, a mother's instinct never fades. At last, a small island of ice offers temporary refuge. Hunger soon forces the family back into the search for food. Survival in the Arctic often rewards patience more than speed. This time, the opportunity disappears beneath the ice. For the young cub, the realities of Arctic survival are becoming clear. The Arctic she once knew is changing faster than ever before. Another storm approaches, carrying danger across the frozen wilderness. In moments like these, the Arctic becomes one of the harshest places on Earth. Against the storm, the mother's protection becomes the cub's greatest defense. Survival often depends on endurance rather than strength. The storm passes, leaving behind a world transformed by ice and wind. Across the Arctic, even the oldest ice is beginning to change. Ancient glaciers that stood for centuries now crumble into the sea. After days of hardship, a rare opportunity finally appears. Years of instinct and experience guide every movement. But even the most skilled hunter must seize the moment. For now, hunger is replaced by hope, and the journey continues beneath the lights of the Arctic night. As spring turns to summer, the cub grows stronger with every passing day. Survival depends on skills that must be learned through practice. These crucial lessons begin early. Every hunt becomes a lesson passed from one generation to the next. Now, watch and learn. Confidence grows, but experience is still limited. Failure is often the first teacher of survival. There is always another opportunity waiting beyond the horizon. Each year, the Arctic grows more difficult to navigate. Yet, these animals press on. Agility and courage become increasingly important. Summer forces many polar bears onto land. For a brief season, the Arctic reveals a different face. During summer, even small food sources can become important. Nothing on land can fully replace the rich energy provided by seals. The absence of sea ice presents a growing challenge for every polar bear. The cub continues to grow despite the hardships. Soon, the Arctic will begin its transformation once again. Winter slowly reclaims the frozen north. The once helpless cub is becoming a capable survivor. Together, they continue across one of Earth's most challenging environments. Years of observation are beginning to pay off. Success often belongs to those willing to wait. At last, the cub achieves its first major hunting success. The student is becoming a master of Arctic survival. Above them, the Arctic sky celebrates another season of survival. The journey continues across a landscape shaped by ice and time. Ahead lies the greatest challenge of all, the moment when the cub must eventually walk its own path. Another winter has arrived, and with it comes a new chapter in the cub's life. The once helpless cub now moves with confidence and purpose. The time approaches when mother and cub will no longer travel together. Years of lessons have prepared the cub for life in the Arctic wilderness. At last, the moment of independence arrives. For the first time, every decision belongs to the cub alone. The Arctic offers freedom, but it also demands responsibility. Survival is no longer a lesson. It has become a way of life. Strength comes not only from success, but from every hardship overcome along the way. Across the Arctic, the young bear continues its endless journey. Somewhere in the frozen wilderness, another chapter of life begins. For a brief time, two solitary travelers share the same path. The Arctic cycle continues, just as it has for thousands of years. As winter reaches its peak, preparation for the future begins. Just as its mother once did, the bear prepares a safe shelter beneath the snow. Hidden from the storms above, life waits in silence. Inside the den, a fragile life finds shelter. Beyond these walls, winter remains relentless, a symphony of snow and wind. Weeks pass as the Arctic settles into another long winter. Slowly, sunlight returns to the Arctic once more. A new generation is ready to begin its journey. Though separated by distance, their stories remain forever connected. The lessons of the past now guide every step into the future. Across the frozen north, the struggle for survival continues. One generation teaches the next, ensuring that life endures in the frozen wilderness. In a world shaped by ice, storm, and change, the story of the polar bear continues. From